Hi, I've got this problem now that what's happening is that the third brake light, the light right up the top, isn't coming on with full brightness, and we're only getting like some of the LEDs seem to be missing, and it's like reduced brightness when you push the brakes. So I'll try and show you that, and also on the right hand side, the two of them aren't even lighting up at all. So just to, if you're needing to test it and you're on your own, what I did was I just came into the car and turned it on. And then if you're on your own and you want to show the brake, what I did was I just got like the rabbit, and then I put the rabbit on the brake pedal. It will work. There we go, the rabbit's got there. You can use the rabbit, and if we just come in, what you'll see is that even though there's this fault in the light, there's no error codes have come up. You see, there's no error codes at the moment. So if we come round and we have a look, what you'll see now, if you press the brakes, you see how these two down here are really bright, but the one up the top isn't bright. I've got it lit all the way to the end. There's one missing at the end, it doesn't seem to work. Then they're all light all the way along, and then right at the end, the last one is out, the second one's lit, and then the two inside that aren't lit either. So the plan is, what we're going to do, I've decided to have a go, is I had to work out that I needed to kind of take the spoiler off, and then what I'll try and do is dry the light out, because what I found was there was water in the light, so maybe that's what's gone wrong. And I noticed that when I looked at this from the top, it wasn't fully pushed in. So you see here, it wasn't fully pushed in and that clipped in. And then you see it's further in, so it's like it's come loose. So have a look at your own Alfa, even if your light is working, and just make sure it's pushed fully in. And you see, like if I push this out, it will clip out again. So in other words, what I wonder is this got loose and then the water's got in. So what I'm going to do is take that out and dry it. So to remove it, what I've done so far is I took off the rubbers. I wanted to take this part off here, and I took off the rubbers here and here. And then there's also there's 4 screws, you see. These screws here, 1, 2, 3, and there should be a 4th one, which is in my machine here. And then what I've done is I've just used my, this tool, and taken it off and put it in, and then unscrewed it there, and unscrewed it again in there, and screwed it again in there, and unscrewed it again in there. One of the things just to watch when you're doing it, when you're pulling it out, just to make sure it doesn't fall, I put my little finger in the hole to make sure that the screw actually stayed in it when I pulled it out, because you don't want to be dropping it down here. If you drop the screw down here, you're going to have real problems. So basically then, after that, you'll find that the whole thing will pop out. Okay, it's been a few weeks now, and in the meantime, actually a day or two after I did it and ordered the light, Tony Violletto created me and a few others a video, so I'll just link you to that so you can see exactly how it's done. I did manage myself, but I'll go into just show you the few problems that I ran into, and also just go over them if that, because I think that'll be quite helpful. So what I did was actually on the light, this is the old light, there was a weather strip there on the edge here. So basically I took that off and I had to stick that onto the new piece so it doesn't break. So just to show you, I'll take it apart, because you'll not want to take it apart yourself. But when it did come about, and this is something you actually see on Tony's video as well, and this is something that I did do, I actually glued my piece back together, because this was where the water came in. So if you look at Tony's just now, he's actually got a crack on his. So I'd probably say it's worth sticking it back together, and then you won't get water in. So like that's just been glued, and I glued it, and then it fits perfectly again. So that'll stop you getting your water in, because that looks like what's happened. Then what I did here is just break it. Broken it there. It just comes off, the piece comes off, but you won't want to do that. Obviously, when you've got a unit, don't take that bit off because you'll break it and it'll break in there. But I just did it anyway just to show you. And then the light strip, you know, comes through. And as I said, like I showed you on mine that some of them didn't work. That's what we were finding. So I did actually just come along, and you can actually test some of them. So, for example, if you wanted, as you can see, there's the lights on, and you can do that all the way along. The lights will come on for the half the strip, like I said. You know, if you just do a simple diode test, and they'll light up, and they'll light up, and the ones at the end have failed. So the LED strip has failed. So that's where I got to on that. I did try and dry the thing out with a hairdryer to see if it would work, but what I found was that the lights didn't switch on at all at that stage, so I couldn't get any lights on when I pressed the brake pedal when I put it all back together. So I then got a little bit worried about it, so I did use my voltmeter again, and I checked that the feed was still coming with 12 volts, so I knew I'd not broken the wire, because the wire is quite difficult. You know, you have to undo it. So I was worried that I'd pulled it too much. So that was one of the things that happened. But then it all clipped back in, and I put it back in, and it's worked fine now, so I have a perfect light. The only problem that I have had for the last few weeks was when I was putting on these screws here, you know, the screws inside, and I told you that to make sure you don't drop it out when you use, you know, when you're removing the screws, is the problem I lost one. So what I did was I thought, oh, I'll get a magnet, and I tried to take it out, and I couldn't get it out with like claws and stuff like that, and I could take photos of it and stuff. So I ended up driving down to the pub because I had to go down, and my mate gave me a magnet, right? So this is quite a good idea. So I tried, so I got this, and that could then go into the hole. You just put it on a barbecue skewer, and then all you needed to do was to thread it in, and then you could attach it and then pull it out. So that was the plan, but the problem was, of course, I had to drive down there, and the screw had moved about. But the amazing thing today is what I found is, because I hadn't found the screw and I couldn't find it after, and I couldn't hear it ever again, so I presumed it just got stuck under the wires. But I come to do this video this minute, and I come down here into the car to see it, and it had come to here. So what had happened was I'd driven about a quarter of a mile, and if you close the lid, so you don't actually need anything like this, if it did ever get stuck, because you've got the holes themselves here, if you keep the door down the way, obviously that's a really big hole, so it must have just fallen through and then gone into the boot of the car. So in other words, if you ever do drop a screw in there, just shut your boot and then drive the car about, and as long as you've not put the plastic piece on, or you could put the plastic piece on, I suppose the plastic piece would catch it, it'll just fall into your boot. So yeah, that's the problems that I had, and they're now overcome. So we've got a whole light working now, so we're sorted.